Alright, today is simple interest and compound interest. So to find simple interest, we do principal times rate times time. Principal is the amount of money you're putting in the bank. So in this case, it'll be $7,000. Could be 500. However much money you are putting into the account that you're going to gain interest on. The interest rate is a percentage. In this case, it's 9%. This is how much you are earning on the original principal. And time is how long you were doing it. So to find simple interest, you are just multiplying those three things to get the answer. So using this as the example, this is your practice set A problem. We would do 7,000. We have to turn 9% into a decimal, so times 0.09, and then it's for 2 years, so we times it by 2. So we'll do 14,000, we'll just do the 2 part first, times 9, 6, so 1,000, and this had 2 decimal places, so it'd be $1,260 that we earned on this amount of money in 2 years. Now, sometimes they will ask you how much interest you earned. That would be this right here. You earned $1,260. Sometimes they will ask what is the total amount you have after 2 years. If that's the case, you take this number and you add it back to the principal. Because you earned this much money, but now you have $8,260 in your account. So simple interest, if it just asks for the interest, you multiply it and that's your answer. If they want the total amount, you take that answer and add it back to it. It's kind of like when you're finding sales tax, you'd have to add it back sometimes, and sometimes you wouldn't. Compound interest is the difficult one. So for this one, I can erase this. Compounded means every year, or however often they compound it, which is usually by year, you're taking that interest amount and adding it to the principal and then doing it again. So if this was compounded every year for 2 years, we would do 7,000 times 0.09 times 1, because it's just for 1 year. When we do that, we get 0.0063 and 2 decimal places, so $630. So with that, we then add that to the principal. So we would have $7,300 or $630 total. Since it's compounded for 2 years, we do the same thing, but now we have a new amount because we have stacked or added this amount to our principal after the first year. We earned that the first year, and it keeps compounding. So that we would do the same thing again, 7,630 times 0.09, 0.7668. 2 decimal places. We would take this number and add it back to this. 30 plus 686. So it'd be 76,138. So now this is how much you got in the bank. If it said for 3 years, you take this number times 0.09. If it said 4, you just keep adding it and doing the new number times the interest rate over and over again until you are done. So it can be time consuming, and recognize when you're doing it to make sure you're not making a mistake. Every time I did it, I'm getting a higher amount that I've earned because I'm doing it off a larger principal. So when you multiply, if this number was smaller than the first time I did it, then I've done something wrong. My math is wrong somewhere. The other thing is, sometimes they will give you, instead of years, they'll say this is usually with just simple interest, they'll say 8 months is the time. If 8 months is the time, what you do is you would actually say 8 months is what portion of a year. So 8 out of 12 or 2/3. So we would change the 2 years 2 over 3. So we'd still multiply 7,000 times 0.09, and then we times it by 2 over 3. So you take this number, which was the 630, we times that by 2, and then divide it by 3. And that would be your answer for 8 months for simple interest, if we were doing it that way. So you take the month, the time frame, and just what portion of a year is that, and that will give you the answer.